I did earlier.
All right. I call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the 35th City Council for January 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. I'd like to remind everyone in the audience to please silence your cell phones or communication devices as to not disturb the meeting. Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Here.
Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Councilmember Paris.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Here.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Council President Serini.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, I'd like to turn over the meeting to Council President Pro Tem Kamal El Sawafi. Kamal?
Thank you, Council President. It's my honor to introduce Pastor Jerry Renendo from the Grace Presbyterian Church, who will deliver tonight's invocation. I invite all who are able to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Riendo.
Perfect. No, that's great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Let's pray. Father God, we come before you this evening asking for your blessing over this meeting. We thank you for the city of Dearborn, for this place, and even more for the people who call it home. We are grateful that we know you care for them more deeply than even we do. As the city council meets tonight to conduct the business of the city, we ask that you would grant each member of the council wisdom to make decisions that serve the common good and promote the well-being of all who live here. In their deliberations, we pray that you would help them to be fair, just, thoughtful, and attentive. Where there are disagreements, we ask that you would grant patience, humility, and goodwill, both among the members of the council and between the city leaders and residents. We know that those gathered here carry many responsibilities and concerns beyond this room. And so we ask by your Spirit that you would grant focus, clarity, and a sense of peace as they turn their attention to the work before them tonight. Bless this meeting, bless these leaders, and bless the city of Dearborn. We pray these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father. All right. Mr. Clerk, our first item of business.
We are ready for public comments.
All right, so council rules were enacted in the previous term to allow for 30 minutes of public comment prior to our business items to better serve our residents. We ask everyone to fill out a comment card, so I have some here. If you do not fill out a comment card, you could just be recognized. Kind reminder, there is a 3-minute limitation, and this clerk will alert you when there's 30 seconds remaining in your timing. We have a card from Catherine Carlo II. Catherine Carroll. Carroll, thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name's Catherine Carroll. I live at 3704 Brewster Street, 48120. So this is something that I'm not sure that you're all aware of, and it's puzzling to many of us. It regards the gym. I joined the gym in July of 2021, and at the end of December, I paid my dues for to start my 5th year. The dues for the first time went up $84. I'm a senior citizen, so I pay senior citizen rates. And that's okay. The gym has operating costs. Everybody needs a pay increase, and equipment needs to be repaired and stuff like that. But the administrators of the gym did something else that me and several of my gym friends, those who I've spoken with, thought was odd. They have instituted a $40 annual membership fee and gave no real explanation as to why. Now, people must really be putting up a fight about it, because she waived mine for this year only, so I didn't pay for my next year. And so next year, as I join the gym, I'll, I suppose, be expected to pay this $40. It's not like we're traded on Wall Street. It's not like we don't already pay taxes. So and it's not like we haven't been members all along. So it's unclear why and where this $40 fee is being given or to us. So, and it's for past members who have been there for a long time and presumably new members as well. So that is my thing that I wanted to alert you all to. And past experience with the gym's administration is not satisfactory, really. So you don't really get real answers to things. So that's why I decided to bring it to City Council to see if you guys knew about it. And I don't expect you to do anything about it now, but hopefully you'll be hearing from others as well.
All right, Ms.
We
Carroll?
can go with that, yes.
Okay, thank you for your, so when you're speaking to Jim, you're talking about the Civic Center, the
Yeah,
okay.
you know, when the
So
gym-
Director?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to have the director come up just to address this, and then we're going to have to refer to legal to get us an opinion, because as Ms. Hamud is aware, the ordinance, either if it's silent, then it allows administration to waive fees, because we had this before. They're not supposed to be waiving fees, so, Director, if you just state your name and then just give us a basis on, and you could get us a report back if you like, but I just want to find out what's going on as far as the administration fee.
Sure, Sean Fletcher, Parks and Recreation Director. There is a $40 application fee. As I understand it, that's for new members, but I will double check that.
Is that always been in, and if you don't know right now, it's fine. Is that always?
No, that
been-
was started recently, and we do that because we're trying to keep up with our competition.
No, we understand. Yeah, we understand. We know we invested a tremendous amount of money in there. We know
Yeah.
that. But my concern is for legal to find out what the ordinance says, because that has to come to council. Unless it's silent, then you're fully aware, rightful to do that. But my bigger concern is that they waive the fee. And when you waive for some, we're not in the business of picking and choosing who we want to waive for.
Understood.
That's my biggest concern. So my task to you, if you could get back to the council, and we'll have her information on if that was waived for what circumstance that is,
Sure.
because I'm very, we have to be consistent, and you know that. I
Yeah,
mean,
and real quickly, I just would like to state that I think we're very comparable as far as our rates. And I will follow up on the $84 increase as well. I'm not sure if that's accurate. The other thing I want to say is we absolutely respond when we get inquiries, and we follow up, whether it's email, phone calls,
No, I understand, but,
and our team takes a lot of pride in that.
no, I understand. I mean,
It's
and
just
I know.
not been my experience, apologize.
Okay, no, I understand, but you're talking about a big organization. I mean,
Yeah.
and this is the way things work. Things happen. I mean, they're not perfect. No one's perfect. But the problem, the concern for me is we understand the rates, but if the ordinance is silent to the rates, if they speak about the rates have to come to council. If they're silent, then the administration has the free autonomy to do that, but waiving fees is a separate aspect. So
Sure.
that cannot happen. We had administration back 12, 14 years ago that happened, and we made it very clear, and there's a pointed ordinance on that, because we don't want to get in the business of waiving for you and not waiving for others. So that's bad policy. So we
Oh,
will
of
get to
course.
the
And-
answer of that.
And I don't want to pay next year either, because I've been a gym member for
Well,
5 years.
we're going to find, I know, we're
Yeah.
going to find out, but can you?
One other thing I will add.
I know, but
Can-
hang on a second, hang on.
Okay.
You've seen the improvements we put in there, right?
Oh, yes.
And you know, that's your tax dollars.
Yes.
So, and,
No.
right, so we're trying to, get our city in the right place. So I know the memberships have increased tremendously, is that correct, Mr. Fletcher? As far as the amount of people over the last years have increased significantly at the
Yes,
Civic Center. So
absolutely.
we're trying to make it better so people enjoy it.
One curious piece to this, too, is that the fee was not charged if you paid on a monthly basis, which was, kind of made no sense. I wanted to pay my whole fee up front for the full year, which I have done all of my years of membership.
Right.
But for some reason, I didn't have to pay that membership fee if I said, no, I'll just pay on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So that was kind of a quirky thing, too.
Okay, we have your information, and
Mm-hmm.
we will make sure that our executive staff gets back. We'll do the research and find out where it's at.
Thank
and we'll
you.
get it right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. So you know what we're requesting from
Yep,
you. We'll
absolutely.
send a follow-up.
Yep.
One quick question.
Yes.
On my street, we still have 4 operating Airbnbs. So I don't, in fact, I think it's 4, could be 5. But we went through all the trouble to pass that ordinance, and
Right.
apparently we don't have any follow-up to.
No,
you know.
no.
Okay, I don't want to add too much, and I
but when
certainly
you
don't
say
want
there's no
to.
follow-up, that's not fair, okay?
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest, okay, today is the 20th,
Yeah.
7th.
Yeah,
My understanding is it went in effect on the 3rd
Oh,
of
okay.
January. So we have to go through enforcement processes.
Perfect.
So, we have to, we're the government, we can't just go in there and put a padlock, we have to go through processes. So even though it might not look like things are being done, they are being done. We are one of the first in the region to pass that ordinance. So
So-
we're serious about it.
I knew I was coming here to talk about the gym thing.
Yeah.
And so I talked, some neighbors approached me and I said, okay, I'm coming here to talk about the gym thing, so I'll also mention it. That's all.
But I
That's all.
appreciate that,
Okay.
and we will note that. And Jackie, can you note that we would like to get a report on the Airbnb status and where we're at today, because that's easier to find, and it's unfair just for us to say Airbnb, there's verbal, there's other, so we need to just get a report on how many are available now, and if we're doing enforcement on it. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right, next we have Miss Andrea Unker. Jackie. Make sure that we get that. 2 different answers. Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
Andrea Unger, Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I was happy to see all of you at the inauguration. Express your desire for all the citizens of Dearborn to work together to unify our city and make everyone feel welcome. On Alter Road, our mayor reminded us that all religions are free to worship as they choose within their own 4 walls. I first came to you over 3 years ago with concerns over violations of the noise ordinance at 6345 Schaefer. I spoke with every council member at the time. I spoke with the mayor's office and numerous members of the police force, including Chief Shaheen. The response dated June 7th, 2023 from one of the council members was, the administration has recommended changes to Dearborn's noise ordinance. Your observations and recommendations regarding recurring noise that impacts your family's quiet enjoyment of your home will be helpful as council considers revisions to the ordinance. Now, you'll find in the documents and the copies that I gave you when I recorded the sound for a month, and with all of the documents in the noise ordinance, that no changes have been made to it to allow loudspeakers to play their message from the mosque for 5 minutes twice daily, often over 70 decibels. The chief of police told me the mosque has been cited numerous times now, and still the violations continue. I can count those more than on one hand. Loudspeakers in our ordinance are not allowed for vendors to send out messages. Bells do not use loudspeakers, and church bells, as you'll notice, they're exempted in our ordinance. While each person can choose their lifestyle or their form of worship, to use loudspeakers to promote one religion's prayer is not part of our ordinance or respecting the rights of others. I'm asking the council to once again read the noise ordinance and enforce this infraction for the peace and well-being of our citizens. My Lebanese, atheist, Christian, and other neighbors agree with me, and you've seen we've had petitions, and I can do that again. Other neighbors agree we do not want our city promoting one religion and forcing the residents to listen to it like we must participate. What are you planning to do to relieve this situation? I've been told that if this cannot be rectified civilly, perhaps the next step is legal action.
You have 30 seconds.
Is there a better way?
Okay, Ms. Unger, thank you. We're going to have the chief come up. Just to clarify a few things, you're saying that there was a suggestion to change the noise ordinance?
This was the email that I got from a member on the council saying that the administration brought it to the council to change the noise ordinance and nothing was done.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. So that part of it that's not what happened, but and regarding that. Then you made a statement too that the city is forcing a religious aspect. The city
You're
is-
allowing it.
No, I know, but that's not what you said. You said the city
So
is
if
not.
you're allowing it, it means you
Ms.
must
Unger.
be endorsing it because you're not stopping
Okay,
it.
Ms. Unger, do you want me to speak?
Yes,
Or do you
please.
want to finish? I'll let you finish,
No,
and then I'll
go
talk.
ahead.
Okay. First of all, you also keep bringing up the speakers, which I thought when I called you and we talked, we made it abundantly clear, and you agreed that the speakers are not the issue.
I did not agree. You said that they were allowed anywhere as long as they have a permit, and I did not see that in the ordinance.
Okay. Again, I think where the confusion is, so let's talk about it again. The speakers are not a violation in themselves. It's the noise that comes out of the speakers that's being measured. So you can have speakers. You just have to have a decibel level that we have in the ordinance. So do you understand that or no?
You have a copy of the ordinance. Can you show me where it says it says vendors may
Ma'am.
not promote a message on loudspeakers. It says right in there, may not use loudspeakers.
Okay. Ms. Unger, you were saying that the speakers themselves were a violation. I thought we cleared that. Because
You
that's
said
not-
that. I told you I did not see it in the ordinance.
Okay, and you're saying the ordinance says that you can't use a loudspeaker?
It's right in there. I've marked it on one of the spots there.
Okay. Well, because I had a conversation with our building department regarding this specifically. So, before we get to the chief, let's just, if you're aware, Mr. Torti, because my understanding, and this, again, we have legal department that are no longer here, because I also asked them, and they specifically said that the ordinance is specific on the volume that's being measured, which we're going to have the chief speak to that. Director Torti, I'm not sure if you're familiar too much with this.
Jordan Torti, Director of Economic Development. So I'm not familiar with the specific section of ordinance that you're referring to, but there are several instances where speakers are permitted. Typically, Council President, to your point, what we focus on is the decibel level coming out of the speaker. I would certainly be willing to look at what's being discussed and look into it further.
Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, because I had legal look into this before I responded, because I wanted to make sure, because there was some concern whether the speaker in itself, without using any sound out of it, was a violation, because that's what I was understood what we were being told, and that was not the case. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page of that. So can you get back to us on that?
Absolutely. If I could get a copy of
Yeah.
this ordinance that's being
Yeah, we're
referred
going to have Jackie send it to her.
Thank you very much.
To you directly, so we can get an idea on that, because I had legal look into that prior.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chief?
Thank you.
Good evening, Issa Shaheen, Chief of Police. So Ms. Unger and I, at the last council meeting, I offered her, invited her an opportunity to come to the police station so that we could sit down collectively and have a conversation and bring some clarity to the issue. You know, over the several years, Ms. Unger has raised this concern. We have done hundreds and hundreds of sound measurement readings across the city. When there has been a violation, we first started off like we would with anybody, trying to talk to the House of Worship in this instance and try to get compliance, and we've done a number of those things. There have been some citations issued, but most recently, we did not have any violations when we did these checks over the last several months. And there was more than probably a dozen or two done at the mosques across the city that do the call to prayer. As it relates to whether or not it's permissible to use audio equipment from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., to the Council President's point, we believe it's permissible. That was the opinion from our legal department, and that's how we're moving forward at this point. And we had that conversation as well.
We did. I still did not see it in the ordinance where.
I know, because
where
Ms.
anything
Unger, what you're
says-
doing, when you look at the law, what you're doing is not wrong, but you're reading it plainly, not in its entirety. So when because it says right here, noise, no vendor may sound any device which produces a sound loud or ridiculous noise, comma. So we're gonna have the legal department get us another opinion,
That would be good.
which we already had that.
Right.
But it might not be good, because they might
Right.
not say what you want them to say.
Oh,
So the issue is that, I know, but.
Right.
all
It's
you-
not,
the
it's not
issue-
up to me, but I
know,
want it
but
to be
Ms. Unger, the
stated.
whole issue is the volume. So I'm not trying to mix hairs, I'm trying to get to a solution. The issue is not whether you have a speaker or not, it's what comes out of the speaker and what the level is. And the chief has been here multiple times, we've had several readings, and there has been very minimal or
Right,
none issues.
and most recently, we had none. I mean, we did dozens of them across the city over the last several months, and we didn't have
So
any violations.
we're going to task legal to look at the ordinance specifically, and it might be still under, Ms. Farage, Hamoud, it might be still under, in the legal department, because they did draft one. I had received it, and I know the chief has. So 12-240, it's section 4E, is where it specifically says about amplified sound. But again, I think what we're doing is reading a single sentence and not its entirety. The entirety indicates that it's measured based on a speaker. But you're saying that doesn't matter anyways, because it's still going over.
Where I live, I was washing clothes yesterday in the basement, and I could hear it. in my basement a quarter mile away. So if you're telling me that's not over 70 decibels,
Well,
maybe my
ma'am, I'm
ears
going
are
to tell
very
you,
sensitive.
I live on Brady, right across from the church, on Brady and Michigan Avenue, right across from the church. So I hear the bells from Sacred Heart from my patio. I don't have any problem with that.
I've
heard 'em.
sat out there and
So
taken
that's more
meetings,
than
and
a
theirs
quarter
aren't even
mile.
over
I know, but
60.
that's more than a quarter mile away as well.
Right.
So,
If
and
there's just
one
one-
more second, Chief, go ahead. And then we're
I just want to add, we had a very pleasant meeting, and I thought it was important for her to understand that her concerns have not been dismissed, but they've been thoroughly investigated and looked into, and I just wanted to sit down and have a real conversation about it. We might have to agree to disagree, but at least I thought we had a pleasant conversation about the issue.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Ms. Unger, I know that you indicated that the administration brought this forward, but that's not true. And I've had that conversation with you, so that is not true, and it's documented. And there was no support from the council to make any changes.
Exactly. That I've heard
But you
that
believe
several
that?
times. Yeah, I do.
Okay, but it was not brought forward by the
Because it was simultaneous
administration.
from when it was brought up at this meeting to when it started playing on the mosque. So it came up at the meeting, nothing was changed, and all of a sudden the mosque, we have lived there for 40 years, it was never playing, and now it is.
Yeah. Councilman Abraham.
I just want clarification on the reference to the ordinance, because this is not part of the noise ordinance. This is part of section 12240 is the ordinances related to restrictions for street vendors and special events, which is not really applicable to a permanent facility. Thank you.
So, Ms. Unger, do you understand what Councilman Abraham is indicating?
Sure.
So that's
So-
what happens
So permanent is less important than a vendor who's doing it once.
No, it's
This
just not a
happens every
reference
day.
in that ordinance. The ordinance is not a reference to permanent businesses. So
Right.
you're taking it out of context when you say we have an ordinance and we're endorsing, or I don't know what the other term was, allowing it to happen. We have ordinances on the books, and you can't just pick one sentence out that is an ordinance related to how the city is managing street vendors and special events and say, see, because of this building over here is in violation of an ordinance that's not applicable to them. They're not a street vendor, do you
Right.
agree?
I understand.
And they're not having a special event.
They're not.
Yes,
But
so this
it's every
ordinance
day,
is
yeah.
related to that. So I just don't want to give people a false sense of, that this council is turning its head when you're referencing things that I think you really do know are not relevant to the discussion about the speakers on that building, when you're referencing an ordinance that relates to managing street vendors.
It's managing sound, but I
It's
understand
not
what you're
sound,
saying.
it's, if you read the heading, it's managing street vendors and special events.
And it's sound.
For street vendors
I
and
understand.
special events.
I understand.
You can't just pluck it out like that, but go, that's
I know,
fine.
I understand exactly what you're saying. To me, when you look at the ordinance, what it first says, it's loud, unusual, disturbing. And that's what, we wanted to have unity in our community. We didn't want this feeling of imposition. And that's what my neighbors and I are feeling, is that we're being imposed upon. Like, we have no choice. We must listen to something.
So again, you're referencing a sentence that starts off with no vendor.
It has nothing to do with the sentence.
Well, but you
Nothing
keep
to do.
referencing that, and I just want to make sure you understand that the mosque
I understand
is not a
exactly.
vendor.
I understand
Okay.
exactly. You can roll your eyes, but
I'm just,
what
I'm just shocked that you know all this, and yet you're misleading people in a way that's disingenuous.
what I'm telling you is.
that's why I'm rolling my eyes back,
what
'cause
the
it's
ordinance-
frustrating.
What the ordinance says is that it is loud, it is annoying, it is disturbing, and that makes no difference.
No, Ms. Unger, that's not what's happening. There's a decimal level, which I told you many times regarding that has to be measured. But you're insistent on the speakers, and as Councilman Abraham, that's why the legal department gave us a legal
Okay.
department.
And when they do
meeting,
look at
and
it,
so that-
would you please
and
make
so-
a copy of the part
and-
that says that
and so it's not the part-
loudspeakers are allowed? I mean, you can have a physical loudspeaker on your building if you're not using it, but please show me the page
That's why
that
there's
says you may use
it's a
loudspeakers
decibel level.
on buildings.
The measurement of the ordinance is based on a decibel level. You know that, right? Because
I
we talked
do.
about it. So I just want you to know where we're at on that. As far as what you indicated here, that's not what's going on. So they've measured it. Chief, have you been measuring the aspect of the decibel level?
We've been doing it for years.
Okay. All right, so, Ms. Unger, is there anything else?
I guess not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Ms. Betsy Andrea. I'm sorry.
Hello, Betsy Andreu in Dearborn Hills. I want to know who is responsible for snow removal by the schools.
This, the city is, the schools, if it's on the city property, where's our director?
Where'd he go? Yeah, in the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, we'll get him up here, but if Ms. Andrea, if it is on the property of the school, they're responsible. If it's the street in front of the school, it's a city property, we are responsible.
Okay, so I went for a walk this morning around 8 o'clock, and I'm going east on Cherry Hill on the north side of the street, and I had to cross, I took pictures, I had to cross Telegraph, and the median is snow covered. You can't get through. There was a crossing guard there. And the crossing guard, when I crossed over, she said, you have to be very careful. I feel so sorry for these kids. Nobody will clean it up. I've complained, and it's gone unheard. So these children should not have, do you want to look at the pictures? Okay. This, well, let me just explain. This one, there should be an ordinance or something should happen with people who are not, with just citizens who are not shoveling. It's not fair to these kids who have to cross the street. Okay.
Director Hawkins.
This is going across Telegraph. Now, this one, you have one on Lodge Lane where for some reason they stopped shoveling. This one on Myrtle, they stopped shoveling. So you have kids who are walking to school and then all of a sudden they can't go into the street because it's dangerous and there's too much snow. But this is absolutely ridiculous. And that's on school, that picture's on school property. And so I went to go see, I didn't know school got out at 1:50 today,
Those are all.
but I want to know when that's going to be cleared for the kids. And I have no skin in the game because I don't have kids in school anymore, but I want to know when that's going to be cleared,
Okay, so-
especially crossing Telegraph.
Well, I think that's the only issue is the Telegraph, because these are the responsibility of the school. The sidewalk is an easement that the school has to recover.
So then,
So all of these that you sent?
right.
These are all the school's responsibility. I thought you were speaking about the street. So it's just like the
Okay.
easement in front of your house, right?
Right,
You cut
right,
the
right.
grass,
Yes,
but it's not your
okay.
property, right?
Okay, but the school is
So the
part
school
of the
board
city
meeting-
of Dearborn, no?
No, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is their property, this is their responsibility.
But the council doesn't control
The
the school
council
board.
does not clean the sidewalk for the school.
So I have to go to the
You
school
gotta go to
in
the
front
school
of the
board.
school
Yeah, we
board?
can get you the meeting date for that, if you'd
Okay.
like to go.
What-
So these are all the school board.
Okay.
Now, these right here, what you're talking about, okay, the director's here, this, we could definitely contact the county, but Telegraph Road, which he's indicating, if I'm correct,
Right.
is that they can't cross there because it's piled.
Well, they're
So this is the
crossing, but
county
the-
commissioner and the
right.
county. But we always work with them. So this is something that I believe we can do. So what you're talking about here is right on Cherry Hill going to Bryant or back and forth.
Yep.
So when they cross, that path has not been cleaned.
No.
Right.
And there was a gas station that's being redone.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is not cleaned either.
Right.
For these kids.
Well, we did issue over 500 tickets I've seen the mayor put on for snow emergencies. So we are issuing tickets for people that are not complying. But as far as this part, we can definitely work with it. You understand where the stat director?
Yep, I
So just say your
absolutely-
name for the record and all that.
Tim Hawkins, I'm the DPW Director for the City of Dearborn.
Okay, and then we don't contact the schools regarding their property and sidewalk, do we?
No, but we actually had a second complaint that came in earlier, and they reached out to the school board, Michael Shushanian did.
Good.
And they are actually doing some work on the parking lot side of Dearborn High. That was a complaint over there earlier today. So that one's being addressed. I didn't know about the others, and we can find out where those are as well and reach out to the school board.
Yes.
Because my concern is for the kids, so
100%.
that's,
And I'm not
course,
going to make
Councilman Abraham.
excuse for our school properties, but I know some of those areas myself. We're all familiar with those areas. in fairness to the school, a lot of those are open areas where blowing occurs, outer drive, not telegraphed. But some of those schools, Lindbergh over there on Lodge Lane, a lot of that stuff blows from the field because it's an open area. And I noticed like there's spots that were shoveled and were cleared, and then it looks like the snow blew back over. But yes, they have to maintain that area.
Right. But
and-
there were, the ones that I took, they weren't, it was just the shoveling stopped. So if,
I think they do the whole area. I really do think it continues. It's been a really tough couple of weeks. I think our
Right.
DPW folks can attest to that. And again, they should be doing it, but I do think that even in my house, there's some blowing issues where I get done.
right.
You look and there's a pile right in the middle of the sidewalk like I didn't do it.
So when is it gonna be when is it gonna be shoveled for the kids on Telegraph?
On Telegraph?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about the school.
Telegraph
Yeah,
and Cherry
I
Hill.
can't answer
Well, Ms.
that.
Andres, we just addressed that. Again, that's a county issue, but we always work closely with them, so.
Right,
It's
okay.
a county road. Our
But
county,
if I were a councilwoman up here, I would go out and I would shovel. I wouldn't wait for somebody else to do it. I would get it done.
right,
So I'm wondering if anybody would do that.
Ms. Andrea, what I indicated to you is that we work with the county,
Okay?
and we're gonna make sure that we get that cleared so that the students can get to
Okay.
their path,
I just
okay?
hope it's cleared sooner rather than later for these kids.
Yeah, me
That's all.
too.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next we have Ms. Tallon. And I think this is the last one. Have we exceeded the 30 limit?
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine.
We're close.
All right. Ms.
Good
Tallon.
evening. Do I pass these out at the end here or give them to Jackie?
I'm sorry?
Do I pass these out or give them to Jackie?
No, you just give them to the clerk and they'll pass them,
we'll
but
get
just state your name and address for the record.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Rita Talib, resident in East Dearborn. I'm here for a couple of reasons, but they're all around the car wash on 7333 Wyoming Avenue, 48126. The first most important thing is the public hazard that is currently occurring there. I have emailed several leadership people about the massive statue-sized icicles that have formed in the bays because of the completely run-down, negligent conduct of the owners who refuse to fix their facility. And so there's currently water pipes there that are being allowed to run, and it's spilling out and forming those massive, large statues that you see there. You'd think it was some sort of ice sculpting competition, but it's not. This is real life, and there are people and children who live there, as well as elderly. I'm absolutely enraged and outraged that this public nuisance continues to occur. So in addition to the ice sculptures that are forming there, this car wash still has other issues that I've raised before you, as well as my neighborhood, as well as my family, that have not been stopped. So the issues that we had with the noise, the patrons, the large semi-trucks, the loitering, the unlawful activity, the sexually explicit videos, the trash, and the complete disturbance to our safety, comfort, and repose is still taking place there. I also want to bring to your attention that Commander Bazzi, who, by the way, I can't sing his praises enough, Chief. He is perhaps the best hire the city ever made, an outstanding police officer, a wonderful community leader. And he has done so much with the very limited tools that he has at his disposal to continue to support us. He brought it to my attention that a ticket was written because of the loitering. And I attended the hearing actually for that ticket, and that ticket got dismissed. I didn't see who the city prosecutor was on that. They weren't there. It was just the car wash's attorney. And a number of things were shared at that hearing, but one of them was that it was dismissed because it wasn't written to the proper name. So when I asked Commander Bazzi, he said that it was written out to the owner's name rather than the LLC. I was then told that it was going to be reissued, but it hasn't been reissued. The last thing I want to bring to your attention, because I know I've spoken a lot here, but essentially, I had to call yet again because for the past 3 years, some of you were part of the 34th City Council. I've been
You have
told
30
that
seconds.
the issues there regarding noise are police issue. I have yet to hear and find one ticket, one, that was written to a patron who was acting unlawfully with their bass and music. And on 1/21/26, I had to call yet again, and I was told by that police officer that a ticket was not written. So I would like to know why a ticket wasn't written, if it will be written to that patron who was stopped, and what you can do to please make sure that this nuisance is abated immediately.
Your
Thank you.
time has expired. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Ms. Tal, just for the record, I know you've been dealing with this for some time, and I know that you, but just so that everybody does know, since I've been here, this is the first business that the city has took to court and closed down. So we did close them down.
Close
remember?
them down
Yeah.
temporarily?
No, what it means is when you have a business, you open to make money. So
Sure.
when you closed and you can't operate, that means
Yeah.
you're closed down by the court.
So they were
that
temporarily
is-
closed?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
process.
Okay.
There's a process. So Director Torti, just for the record, I just want to make sure that the people watching know that we did close this business down lawfully through court action. Is that correct?
Council President Jordan Torti, Director of Economic Development. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Now, I know also through the legal process that they have a right to cure and make their method, and then they have been reoccupied. Do they have a current C of O?
They do. It was issued in May of 2024.
Okay. So, because I know I was involved with this property, I know this has been going on for 30 years, but it just came about in like the last 8 years. But as far as brought to the council aspect. But as far as that, now they've been reissued a C of O. And my understanding and the concern that Ms. Tala was bringing forward, I think is very valid as far as, I know, I'm not a car wash expert, but I know that any place with running water during these times continue to have some type of circulation of water to drip in order for the pipes and stuff not to freeze. But it's very apparent that the situation, which I'll give you these so we can send an inspector out immediately, because at this situation, these are definitely a health safety hazard, because this is now something that looks that a pipe must have exploded at some point, because the amount of ice that is in, and it's in one bay, so it has to be something that has malfunctioned. As you see the picture here, there's visible at least 3 bays, and one has a spout. So there must have been a break in the main, or break in the water there. But we need to get that, an inspector out to get that shut down and make sure that that's safe. So we do appreciate that. As far as tickets and loitering, so I'll have Jackie give you these.
Yes, sir.
We'll send this to him. As far as for the chief, I know he's back there, but I think we're good. Commander, she was praising your Commander Bazzi regarding the situation. As far as loitering and noise, Chief, just come forward just so we can, I'd rather have it come from you, but the understanding with the noise and the level of noise and noise ordinances is the state law requires us to be, an officer to be present to witness and with a meter. And I think you're aware of that because I'm sure you're very familiar with that. So Chief?
Just so I understand the issue that you're bringing up, Ms. Talib, you're saying that on the 21st of this month,
Yes.
there was a car that was playing their music at the car wash?
Yes.
And that when the officer responded, they approached the individual and he lowered the music?
What happened was I called because they were blasting their bass, and as usual, our windows are vibrating. And when the officer showed up, we could see them through our windows. We noticed that the woman sitting inside began to lower it to make it seem as if they weren't blasting it. So by the time the officer's truck came behind them, it had been lowered enough to where it wasn't shaking our windows anymore, but it was still extremely disturbing.
Okay.
And the officer actually asked the gentleman blasting his bass, do you know that something along the lines of, you're playing your music too loud? He said, oh, I asked the owner if I could play my music, and the owner said yes, he was just here. And indeed, the owners are always there to collect their coins and go back to their homes where it's quiet and comfortable and
All right,
safe.
Chief, just
Okay, so I'll
for
look
the
in-
record,
Yeah,
I
I just
know.
want to try to understand the problem precisely. So
I
I'll
know,
look
but we-
into it.
So a
and-
ticket wasn't
Sounds like she
issued.
was there, or you were there then.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can see everything from my home.
I know, but you heard the conversation with the officer and the
He
people?
told me, because he came
Who-
to my house
the
afterwards.
officer did?
Correct.
Good.
And his body cam was on.
Okay.
Good.
He came to my home, by the way, very respectful officer.
Well, I have a lot of
You have
good
a very
officers.
respectful team.
Thank you so much.
I cannot really praise enough, especially Commander Bazzi.
I know, we love Commander
He has gone
Bazzi.
above and beyond.
Me too.
Above
All right,
and
so,
beyond.
Chief, to wrap up, so
Sure.
is there anything, I mean, I
I'll look
understand the
into it,
officer has
yeah.
the authority to make that judgment
Yeah.
call at that aspect, but I think the bigger problem, and I don't want to speak for Ms. Tala, but I think the issue is that she's indicating that the ownership is allowing this. They're actually encouraging it, is what it sounds like, and I don't know how that is
Yeah,
possible.
let me look at the body camera and let me take a look at it, and I'll have Commander Bazzi reach back out to you.
Sounds good. Thank
All
you,
right.
Chief.
Council President.
Thank you. Yeah, Councilman Paris.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. If I can, I know Ms. Tlaib has made reference to me a couple of different times, or called me, or emailed me to let me know of some of the things that have been going on. And this has been an ongoing issue for several years. What I will say, even before a recent complaint, I've been out to that car wash a couple times myself, in that even this last Saturday, we've got a picture here of that fountain of water, coming from the ceiling. It was there on Saturday, but the several times in recent history that I've gone by this car wash, there are 9 bays that are there. 6 of them are closed. They're blocked off, they're not usable. Okay, and now you have the water everywhere, it's ice, people can't walk without sliding. The alley has not been cleared, it has not been maintained, the sidewalks have not been maintained, they're snow covered, ice covered, even before the water going out from that bay. The only thing I will say is I know with the C of O, and with the car wash in particular, there are environmental issues that for water management, that you have to get from GLEWA, you got to get permission or another permit from GLEWA, from what I understand. This has been such an ongoing issue with this car wash, and I know we had it temporarily shut down because of action of the court, but it's getting to the point right now, and I remember attending years ago. It might be rising to the same public health issue. You got kids playing there. You've got signs that are posted, no loitering after 10 o'clock. If I'm not mistaken, I think at one time they were proposing to shut off all the machines automatically at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know if that's taking place.
Yes, the machine's shutting off because of a timer that I believe, Council President, thank you for suggesting it. You'd think that business owners, so-called business owners who own a facility like that would know, but their level of arrogance, negligence, and being incompetent keeps them from wanting to put money to that because they don't care about us. But to that point, they don't turn off at 10. And part of even when they were temporarily closed by the city through the legal department, the issues via Commander Bazzi that we still had as a residency there was that the power wasn't cut. And even when they were temporarily closed, they were open and operating and making money. So this has been an uphill battle, and the onus has always been on us, disproportionately being burdened. And then blaming the police as if police officers who are out there patrolling our streets, keeping us safe from some of the most egregious things we hear about on the daily, have to babysit a car wash? Are you kidding me? If you want to own a business, which is a complete privilege in this country, then be responsible, be a decent neighbor, be a decent human being, and stop taking advantage of the kindness of the people living next to you. Because guess what? I can guarantee you that had they been respectful and diligent and just decent human beings and business owners, the entire neighborhood would support them. And if we saw something happening there, we would simply call them and say, hey neighbor, we noticed this and this and that is happening. What can we do to help you? But they are the most recalcitrant, negligent, greedy owners I've had the displeasure of having to deal with. And this is an absolute nightmare. And in addition to all the things I've said now, this isn't the only thing about the ice. There are sexually explicit videos being made at that car wash, and I have those videos, and I have shared them with multiple people. And it is disgusting and outrageous that the youth and the elderly have to be subjected to this, and it is disgusting that my mom has to run inside every single time in the summertime, just when she wants to enjoy her backyard as an 81-year-old woman. And I refuse to be silent about this. So we really would love the council's support on this with concrete action. These owners have been given so much leeway and time, and they have delayed hearings and hearings and hearings, and we're fed up.
These are a newer owner too, from my understanding. It's not the original one, but let's get Councilman Paris to end up, and then we'll ask for the director to give us something else. 1 second. Councilman Paris, and then we'll get to Chief. Yes, go ahead.
What I would like, me personally, this has been going on for, the last couple of years at least. I'd like to get more of an idea how many complaints that we've gotten over a period of time, whether we can go back in the computer and find out how many police calls, if maybe property maintenance or Director Twardy would have any complaints that have been issued. Just an overall report over the last year or so would give me an idea. Because what I'm thinking, I'm personally going to say this on the record, is this is a public nuisance. Every time I go by that car wash, there's something going on there. It's not kept up very well. It's dirty. It's an attractive nuisance for the kids. Again, this is only my estimation, but it's getting to the point of an abatement board meeting, a nuisance abatement board meeting to see whether this business should continue to operate. I mean, really, it's gotten to that point, and it's consistently over the years, the same problems, and nothing seems to be taken care of. 6 bays out of operation, out of 9, and that's been for a while. That's not just the last couple weeks or the weather related. It's been a while. They're out of commission. So,
All right.
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Councilmember
Thank you.
Paris.
Thank you. All right. Anything else, Chief? All right, thank you, Ms. Talib. So
Thank you.
Director Twardy, we just need to email back to the council. We'll send in a follow-up regarding the recent ownership, how long they've been in, the C of O that was issued, specifically inoperable bays, because I don't know if that was part of the C of O aspect. So we'd like to find out what is that, because it might be that they were purposely closed. So we'd like to get that information back, because I know in my conversation with you, there was bays that were added prior to the owner taking over that were never even permitted. So maybe they were purposely done. So if you can get us from the current owner, how long they've owned it, and then what violations have been cited since they reopened and the C of O was issued, okay? It's specifically about the inoperable product, okay?
Council
All right, thank
member, Council President, can I just
Yeah.
say also one more thing? I recall when I came before you guys, the 34th City Council,
Right.
3 years ago now. It's crazy how time flies. But over a number of residents coming here, we've been heated and passionate about this because we're burdened by it. I'm always at the verge of tears before I come here. And I gotta tell you,
Well, we
it
do
pains
appreciate
me
it.
that my 81-year-old mom cannot enjoy her home.
No,
It
we
is so
fully-
difficult for me. Just let me say this, please.
Yes, of course.
And I'm not ashamed that I'm crying before you. I will always fight for my mom. I will stand up for her the way I fight and stand up for all the small business owners I have the pleasure of supporting in this great city. And I've been here my whole life. This is a disgrace. It's a stain on this entire administration's legacy. And I remember when Corporation Counsel Romer was here, and I asked him after a number of times of coming, do you think that a public nuisance is happening here? And he said no. And he turned out to be wrong. And that's okay to be wrong, but it's time to be accountable. Okay?
Well, thank you for your
Thank
comments.
you.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, Chief. Yes.
On behalf of the administration and the team, I want to thank Ms. Talib for coming and for her constant advocacy for the community. I just want to reassure the council, and I think that we heard Commander Bazzi's name a few times, in addition to many emails that I've been a part of, that the commitment of the city is to continue to work towards ensuring that the business is in compliance and that it is not a nuisance for the neighbors that live in the area. So I just want to reassure you that the team is working on it. I wish it was easy as I don't want to say closing down a business, but, making sure they're honest operators for the business. But I just wanted to make sure, because I know that there's, a lot of heated comments on the council as well. But I just want to just reassure you all that the administration, the team, let's say Commander Bazzi, I'm going to say Commander Bazzi and the police department is definitely on this. And we look forward to the report. I also asked for a report this past week as kind of an update for the council president and the mayor to be able to kind of get a pulse check of kind of where we are on the progress.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, and Jackie, you got that, so we'll send that through to you, Director Twardy. All right, at this time, we are closing the public, first public comment portion, and then we will move now to our regular agenda. Before we move to our consent agenda, are there any items that any individual member would wish to remove from the consent agenda and discuss individually? Okay, hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can we go ahead and with item 5?
Item 5, resolution in need of offer and support, approving all the items on the consent agenda.
Offered by Councilman Enos.
Support.
Support by Councilman Hamud. Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember O'Reilly?
Yes.
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilmember Paris?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud?
Yes.
Councilmember El Swafi?
Yes.
Council President Sereni?
Yes.
7 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, next item.
Next item will be item number 12, resolution by council members Enos and Abraham approving the minutes of the previous special meeting of January 8th, 2026.
All right, are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these minutes? All right, hearing and seeing none, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 13, resolution by council members Paris and Enos approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of January 13th, 2026.
Okay, are there any deletions, additions, or modifications to these minutes? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 14, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 26-1863, an ordinance to amend the nuisance chapter, chapter 13 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending section 13-14 entitled Shopping Carts, resolution by council members Enos and Hamud to take from the table for its final reading.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. So the Economic Development Department has an ongoing issues with finding necessary space to impound our recent shopping cart ordinance, and due to this, the number of carts are being recovered throughout the city to clean up our city, and then we have to extend the storage period for approximately 21 days. They're recommending that we modify this ordinance to make return and recovery to the carts owners a priority over storage, reducing the impounding period from 21 days to 3, assessing a $100 per cart fine cost associated with recovering and returning shopping carts, and assessing a $25 storage fee, as well as an additional $100 per cart return fee. We're also removing language that uncapped the total amount of fees related to recovery and storage notice to owners as well. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments regarding this? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have the final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 26-1863, an ordinance to amend the nuisance chapter, chapter 13 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending section 13-14 entitled Shopping Carts.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
7 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Next item.
Item 15, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 26-1864, an ordinance to amend the administration chapter, chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by adding Article 3, Division 5A, sections 2-455 to 2-460, entitled Dearborn Arts and Culture Commission. Resolution by council members Hamud and Abraham to take from the table for its final reading.
All right, unanimous roll shall be attached to take for the table for its final reading. This proposed ordinance will establish the Dearborn Arts and Cultural Commission. The commission will recognize and advocate for to celebrate arts and culture within our city limits. The commission will act as an advisory board and will not have regulatory authority. The commission will make recommendations regarding arts, culture, activities within the city, and advise the city administration and the city council of the development of arts and culture within our community. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments from my colleagues? From the audience?
Good evening, esteemed 35th Dearborn City Council clerk and the mayor's office representation. I'm Dearborn City resident Leslie Herrick, and I'd like to say thank you so much on behalf of myself and the Dearborn Youth Symphony, one of our many arts organizations here in the city of Dearborn. We certainly appreciate your supporting the Arts and Culture Commission being introduced here in Dearborn. Adoption shows that the city recognizes the value of public art and is making a commitment to including public input in developing a cohesive plan to provide opportunities for residents and visitors to enjoy a variety of art and participate in cultural experiences in our city. Art enhances the vibrancy of our city, making Dearborn a welcoming destination by drawing people to our business districts, neighborhoods, and city facilities. Wherever we are from, for people of all backgrounds, nationalities, ages, interests, art promotes unity by offering opportunities for people to learn more about each other and strengthens our community as a whole. Importantly, data shows that art programs in cities boost economic growth by attracting visitors and businesses, improves community well-being through increased social cohesion, civic engagement, and reduced crime, and enhances individual development by fostering creativity, critical thinking, and mental and physical health for people of all ages. The members of the new Arts and Culture Commission will have an important role in guiding and supporting the city administration in implementing a cohesive long-term cultural arts plan, a plan that provides social experiences, promotes physical and mental health, and contributes to the local economy. Thank you to Mayor Hammoud and the City Council for this meaningful recognition of the value of arts in our community.
Well, thank you, Ms. Hare, for coming forward. And it's shocking probably for yourself as well and me that we never had this commission. I was
That's right.
surprised that we didn't have it.
That's right.
And so this is a great step forward.
I think it's an evolution of the city because of the times that we're in right now. We've had nonprofit organizations that have kind of led the charge and worked hand in hand with the city for decades.
That's true.
But I think that this shows just a renewed commitment and a different approach to making this part of the integrated programming in the city.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Chief, you got something to add?
Just because this is a really exciting commission, I think we're very much proud of the fact that we're here in the city of Dearborn now have this commission. But fun fact, the mayor is actually an art collector. So he's really excited to be this commission to be established. I think we've run a good track record of embracing art in the city. One of the greatest, I think, murals, we have many in the city, that was just revealed, I think it was in November or October, was the one on the Ford Performing Arts Center, which was the DIA in partnership with the DIA, and it's absolutely breathtaking. So we're looking forward to continuing that. But I would be, remiss not to thank this council, because I think it's the mayor and the council that have really dedicated a lot of effort to ensure that the arts is well and alive in the city. And this commission is really, truly a testament to that. So just wanted to add those few words, because I think that, as in many places, arts is a lost, love and cause, but not here in the city of Dearborn.
That's right. Thank you, Chief. All right, Clerk, I think you have to request. I'm sorry? Your mic, I think. There's a limit, so you got, yeah, that's okay. All right, so any other questions or comments from my colleagues? All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 26-1864, an ordinance to amend the administrative chapter, Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by adding Article 3, Division 5A, Sections 2-455 to 2-460, entitled Dearborn Arts and Culture Commission.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi. Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Yes.
6 yeas, the ordinance passes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item.
Item number 16, resolution by council members Abraham and Paris authorizing the addition of 2 full-time construction engineering technician positions and 1 new full-time surveyor position to the 2026 engineering division budget, and to eliminate 2 part-time construction engineering technician positions, resulting in an estimated cost for the remainder of fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $55,000 and an annual budgetary impact in the amount of $142,000. Also, authorizing the finance director to appropriate funds in the amount of $55,000 in the engineering division in fiscal year 2026 to cover the cost of the full-time positions, and to recognize the same amount as revenue in the engineering division, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Due to the significant increase in engineering projects throughout and construction deadlines that are requiring plan reviews, the Department of Public Works is requesting approval to add 2 additional positions for the fiscal year 2026 in the engineering budget. 2 construction engineering technicians and 1 surveyor. These roles are essential to supporting the engineering division's workload and ensuring timely, high-quality project delivered throughout the construction season. The additional staffing will strengthen the city's ability to deliver critical infrastructure improvements, enhance public safety, minimize disruptions to our residents, and protects our taxpayer investments. The net cost of this remains for the 2026 is estimated at $55,000, and the total cost will budget for the fiscal year at $142,000. And is being requested with immediate effect. Director Hawkins?
Tim Hawkins, DPW Director. Yes, these positions will allow us to allow our PE engineers, we only have 2, Saud and Majid, to stay in the office to do more plan review. They're the only ones that can assign or sign off on approved or denied plan review, and they're currently in the field reviewing projects underway. So these two positions will allow technicians to be in the field to review the city gets what they paid for on projects moving forward, and puts 2 engineers in the office for plan review full-time.
Excellent. And the biggest thing, Director, and I wanted you to speak to this because, I mean, as everybody knows, I mean, the projects for the government, we go out, we bid them, we expect those projects to be done as bid, but as you know, being in the field, that's why we need these engineers. We need the oversight of the project management. So not only is this going to reduce time for people getting through, that is a goal too, is right?
Correct.
Because we're adding more people, we should reduce time.
Yep. We should actually complete projects on time because we have somebody there overseeing them as they're constructed rather than following up like a weekend progress report.
Right, which is what we used to do because of staffing.
Yes.
And that ended up causing us more trouble, but
Right.
hopefully this will work. So
Yep.
we're anticipating, when do you anticipate these positions to be filled?
Well, we're going to, the 2 part-time positions will be collapsed, and we have a candidate we're hoping applies for the 1 full-time position who is excellent. And then we'll post the other one as soon as this goes through.
All right, and this is with immediate effect. Any questions or comments from my colleagues? Okay, an objection to unanimous roll? Thank you, Director. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 17, resolution by council members Enos and O'Reilly awarding a contract to GDI Services in the amount of $197,440 for custodial services at the Dearborn Administrative Center and the Department of Public Works facilities, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Dearborn Administrative Center and the Department of Public Works buildings are high-use facilities that support daily city operations and serve employees, residents, and visitors. Maintaining a clean, safe, and sanitary environment is essential to public health, workplace safety, and professional appearance of our city. To meet these standards, the city has determined that a professional custodial service is most effective way to maintain both facilities. The contracted services provide and maintain trained staff, establish cleaning protocols, and commercial-grade equipment, which is not available to our city staff, to ensure that these buildings are maintained and upkeep is done. The Department of Public Works, in coordination with purchasing, is recommending the award of custodial service contracts to GDI Services in the amount of $197,000 with immediate effect being requested. And this is, Chief, from my understanding, when we did meet with the mayor, this was a cost savings for the city as well. All right, just wanted to make sure. You got to request the mic there, Chief. All right, go ahead, Chief.
That's correct, Council President.
All right, thanks. All right, any other questions or comments? As I said many times, I believe a governmental function shall remain a governmental function, but maintaining and regular maintenance and cleaning and doing floors, they need to be done by professionals that have the equipment that we do not have. So I thank the Department of Public Works for bringing this forward, and hopefully we'll stay on top of them and they do what we expect of them. All right, any other questions or comments? Yes, if you'd like to step forward, sir.
Dennis Duggan, 21800 Morley Avenue, apartment 1101. You know, I don't trust people who don't have regrets. And the reason I do that is I want to trust myself, and I have to have regrets. In my administrative life, administering a nursing home, it's 1.6 people, employees per bed. So if you have 100 beds, you got 160 employees. And the corporates above me in 2 situations took out dietary, they took out housekeeping, they took out laundry, they took out maintenance. And I'll tell you, I regret supporting all of that, not because it's not a good idea, not because money doesn't force you to do things and everything that you said right, but there were people who were squeezed out and left out, and it was good for the corporate, it was good for the body, but it wasn't always good for all the individuals. So please, don't have the regrets that I have for being silent along the way when I was an administrator and could have made a better difference in people's lives.
Well, we appreciate that, Mr. Duggan, and we did. I did ask that question myself during the meeting. There's 2 people that will be repurposed and offered to be relocated. That was a question that I definitely asked: is we going to lose people regarding this? So, they can be reassigned, and there's 2. So we do appreciate that.
Council.
Councilman Paris, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, if I could, thank you, Council President, and exactly to your point, Council President Sereni, what you made mention of, I believe it was 3 full-time, 3 part-time positions that we were looking at with this, and it was a $20,000 savings. So it was brought up, and I specifically brought up about the union involvement and were they brought into the decision-making, or at least to let them know about their employees and making sure that the employees were taken care of that are currently in the buildings affected. It's my understanding, too, that this custodial contract is also at the courts now, and there are possibly some other areas within the city, without naming, that may be interested in the same thing, and they provide a little bit higher level of service that's going to be expected.
Yes, Councilman, you are correct. The issue is when we have a limited staff such as what we have, if we have staff that get ill or off, our building does not get clean because there is no replacement, right? And bringing this staff service in guarantees a level of service no matter what. They have fill-ins. They have more than enough staff to maintain with an illness, with a vacation, any of that, which we do not. And we do not hire to fill positions that potentially somebody goes on vacation.
And the only other thing that I wanted to make mention of, too, when you have experienced individuals that have been a city employee, whether part-time or full-time for a long period of time, they know their jobs, they know the areas inside and out. They also know how to maintain things that might be out of their realm of responsibilities. As an example, fixing doors or fixing latches or know where to get the information or get the parts. So, I mean, we got to make sure to take care of our employees, and I know it was a concern of mine, too, to make sure that we found other positions or at least offered it. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councilman. And then, Director, just to clarify, so there was 6 people? My understanding, there was not 6 people.
Well, I believe there's 3 full-time and 3 part-time FTE or positions.
And that's what Councilman was
But
indicating.
I think
So
there's
3
only 2
full-time. I thought it was 2.
part-timers.
I'm sorry?
I believe there's only 2 part-timers currently, but
So-
they had 3 full-timers, and
Yeah,
all of
but
them.
the councilman may be speaking about budgetary, might have had 3,
Right,
but there's
right.
2 part-timers.
Right.
So that's what I was speaking of,
Yes.
and 3 full-timers, and they are
Yes.
they have the opportunity to be
Yes,
reassigned.
yep.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman. Chief?
Many of the positions have been collapsed, so they're not filled. So the individuals, there will be one that will be remaining in the building to be able to administer and to, the institutional knowledge essentially, and to be on, and we'll share that information with you later on. But I think that just for some clarity, and I respect the council's position because it was the same as the administration. I think the comment of being good to our employees is always top of mind. And it's something that we take into consideration with any decision that we make. And this one was a very thoughtful one because, I give credit to the DPW team with Tim and Nicole at the helm because they were working diligently alongside with our employees to ensure there was no gap in their ability to work for the city. There was a lateral move into another position similar to theirs. To ensure that there was the support needed and resources provided. And I want to say thank you to the council as well, because I think that many of you shared your concerns with me directly and provided me with some additional information and resources that can be provided to the employees. But I want there to be a full confidence of this council that we have taken every appropriate step necessary to ensure there is no disruption in anyone's life and work-life balance. So just want to make sure
No,
that
we do appreciate it, and I appreciate Councilman Paris bringing that forward. And then, Director, just for the record, too, these are union employees, the ones that are full-time, correct?
Yes, we've
Right.
met with the union.
Right, so,
All this has
and I
been
think Councilman
negotiated
Paris
and
asked that. I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth, but I do believe we did thoroughly vet that, but it's good to let the residents know. So, as Mr. Duggan brought forward, we did consider that. I misspoke on the number, but they are being resigned, and they are union positions, so we will find, there's plenty of places for us to put them. So we do appreciate that. Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Thank you. Next item.
Item 18, resolution by council members Hamud and Paris awarding a sole source contract to Stryker Sales LLC in the amount of $643,660 for the purchase of 10 Stryker LifePak 35 monitor units, related accessories and service charges, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The fire department is seeking to replace its cardiac monitor fleet by trading in 10 LifePak 15 units for 10 LifePak 35 monitors. The 35 monitors enhance our patient monitoring system, including 12 leads, ECG, CPCO. It's a little over my head there, Chief. I'm going to have you speak on it. But these are essential for diagnosing and treating cardiac emergencies. This contract also allows the city to defer lump sum payment on several months after the contract has been formalized. And the purchase also includes a 4 years of field repair service and coverage for 7 years as well on the Life Pro 2. The fire department, in accordance with purchasing, is recommending this purchase of the LifePak 35 in an amount to Stryker Sales LLC in the amount of $643,660 with immediate effect. Chief, if you'd like to expand on this.
Sure. Fire Chief Joseph Murray. Thank you, Council President and Council. Yeah, these are some of the tools that we use every day, multiple times a day. These are the monitors on the ambulance. Though they do things that defibrillate, cardiovert if your heart's beating too fast, pace if it's going too slow. Takes vital signs, blood pressure, O2 sats. Basically gives us a picture of the patient. It also does, if you remember from a few years ago, it does the 12 EKGs, so we can actually send the reports right to the hospital so they get the cath lab ready if you're having a heart attack and move you that much faster. So obviously the time from having a heart attack, getting that blockage open, that time is critical for a positive outcome. So very important piece of equipment. We actually have 21 of them in the fleet, so we are replacing the first half this year. And then our strategy includes working on grants this year, and we're also talking about doing a regional grant with Detroit as well to get the next half. So, but this is going to be a big change from us. These monitors have served us well. We've had these ones for about 10, 12, 15 years, some of them. So they've held up very good, but the technology is changing to the point where we need to start swapping these out.
Yeah, I know I've been to the station and been in the rigs myself, and I know a lot of my colleagues have, regarding the fact that they transmit right to Oakwood or Beaumont now. Corwell, sorry. I'm dating myself there. And, that's crucial, and I understand that. But these, I mean, like anything in technology, 10 years is a long life. So I'm sure, even though you indicated what they do, I'm sure there's much more that they do that's more cutting edge as far as quickness. And that time is so crucial to our residents. So we do appreciate that, Chief.
Very critical. And I would just make one more comment on this. The mayor himself really was a bulldog in negotiations. Got us knocked down about another $140,000 on what we thought we were going to be paying. So thank you to the mayor for helping us out.
Well, we do appreciate that. I mean, I know the mayor, he has been, and his staff has been. It's good when you're not in government that long, you end up turning around and just negotiating like a business deal, and it ends up working for the city. So we do appreciate that. It's a great way to negotiate. So
worked out great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, any other questions or comments on this item? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 19, resolution by council members Enos and Abraham awarding a two-year sole source contract to TextMyGov in the total amount of $50,000 for smart texting and citizen engagement solutions, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city will be enhancing its citizen engagement by providing an accessible app, a free texting platform that allows residents to report issues, ask questions, and receive information without technical barriers. The system is a 24/7 reporting for items such as potholes, drainage concerns, general service inquiries, snow not being removed. Can we send that to the school board when they get text over? All right, we'll do that as well. And this text.gov is a tremendous new program for the city of Dearborn. The contract is for $50,000 over 2 years. The $29,000 is in the first year and $21,000 in the second. The TextMyGov is a sole source provider, as they are the only vendor offering this a specific AI-generated texting platform. And we have our director here. Director, would you like to give us some more information on it?
Of course. I'm Ollie Phillips, Community Relations Director. We're really excited about this program. It'll give our residents the ability to receive real-time updates on issues that are important to them, that I think are a bit more, that fit a niche that we don't have right now. They're a bit more targeted, and they don't really reach the level of, like, what NIXL, what our PD does. So it's not going to be an emergency notification, but for instance, just this last weekend, we had a street that hadn't moved their cars out of the way. We could have used this tool to select that like geographic region, send them a text, say, hey, move your car before we get out there. It also is really good for water main breaks, any like regionally specific notifications, and it's an opt-out service. So if you don't want to get the texts, you don't have to get the texts, but we encourage you to sign up so we can
Right.
make sure you're aware of what's going on in the city.
I think the texting, I think this is great because I know not everybody, and as you know, the council does our own council news connection. I know the city administration have followed up with a book as well, because not everybody is on, the social media all the time. The texting is a great way, but also the biggest thing, Director Phillips, is the two-way communication, right? So they will get a response
Yes.
that they've been received and so on.
Yes, there's a module that we can add that would do that. Right now, we're just going to do the one-way communication, but
yeah.
we can, within what we're paying for, we can do that as well. So
Right,
there's a lot
but I
of
mean, the
different
whole
options.
purpose of this was that there is an ability to do that. I mean, I do agree on rollouts like a soft opening, make sure we get everything, all the kinks worked out. So I do think this is going to be very good for residents to be able. We can't be everywhere in every place, and that's why it's great to have our residents, be the eyes and ears and say, hey, there's a tree down or there's a fire hydrant that was hit. These are all things that are very crucial that will help us. Councilman Enos.
Yeah, when should we expect our first text to get our cars off the street? So.
As soon as, we'll get them off the street just in case. But as soon as we're able to get our contract signed, once you guys pass it, we'll be good to go. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Regardless of the
Chief?
message, you should remove your
Yeah.
cars.
Please.
I think the message has been well received regarding the moving the cars. And I know we hype on that, Chief, but I mean, I think the Chief Police is here. You don't have to come forward, but we did issue a lot of citations, but you also got to remember we have 35,000 homes. A vast, I know we got to look at the positives. Over 90% of the people moved their cars properly, if not more. And we have to do the best we can. We're all in this together, and the snow is not coming. It's not stopping. So we have to stay after it. So we do appreciate our residents that are complying, and we do appreciate it. And those that are not, I'm sure they're getting used to, they're understanding it. They got to move them. So appreciate it. Thank you, Director Phillips. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 20, resolution by council members Abraham and Paris authorizing the addition of the new full-time position and title of Chief Plans Examiner in the Economic Development Department in the E&A salary plan, grade 122, with a starting salary in the amount of $81,638 and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Human Resources Department, or HR, is requesting to establish a Chief Plans Examiner position within the Economic Development Department to provide dedicated oversight of high-priority projects such as the Ford World Headquarters and Executive Plaza, the rollout of the BSNA digital platform, that's our system inside internally, combined with our increase in complex development activity, has strained our building services division capacity. The chief plan examiners will oversee workflow, manage plans, examiners, and serve as a central point of coordination for major developers in ensuring timely code, compliant reviews, and consistent service standards, which we're looking for. The Civil Service Commission approved this position and title placement on the E&A salary position grade 122 on November 12th of 2025. The position will be funded through existing resources and to be adapted in our future budget with no additional funding on a new position slots requested at this time. And we have our HR director here. Would you like to state your name for the record?
Absolutely. Danielle Cheney, Human Resources Administrator.
All right. Well, thank you for being here tonight. I know that we had some questions from my colleagues, but if you want to just give us a general overview. I know that the commission had passed this,
Yep.
which we have a couple very competent council appointees on there that are showing up.
Absolutely. So
All right.
I will not do it the same justice that Director Twardy will do it, but essentially this position is being developed with you all's approval to serve as an extra layer so that they can supervise the plan examiners and kind of be more hands-on in terms of oversight of the projects and being able to give the specific details where the leadership team will be able to strategize more and develop new projects.
So we got Director Torty here to take you off the hook there as well. But you can stay for it, just because we're going to have some questions. I know we've talked this, flushed this out, and Director, just state your name for the record.
Yes, sir. Jordan Tworty, Economic Development Director. I have to shout out Danielle. She's the one that got me off the hook in civil service. So
Okay,
it's a
good.
team effort. So
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So as Danielle was alluding to, what this is really about is, and as we've talked about at the COW, Dearborn is seeing, similar to our colleagues in engineering, we're seeing an increased volume and complexity of projects. And what we really want to focus on is making sure that we have the proper folks in place, not only to be competent in doing those reviews consistently, but increasing the speed and turnaround of the routing. One of the things we've talked about a lot as a team, administration and council, is getting those review times down. Part of that is the routing. That accounts for 2 to 3 days of the process overall as it comes in. Then it has to be looked at. Then it has to be routed to the right person. This position will take ownership of that for all of these types of projects. So we're really looking to pick up some speed and improve the consistency and quality of the reviews through this position.
I do appreciate that. I know we have a few council members that might want some question, but Director, just for a high-level aspect, I know that we've talked several times, and I've met with the mayor regarding the aspect of the codes, and this is a situation here where, just for our residents to understand, this position is very crucial because it's all, like, even in the law, it's how you frame it, right? So if it's framed as, well, this is a coffee shop, and it's not, it's a bagel shop or something else, it's classified different. So I think in our ordinances, I don't want to say are loose, but they leave for interpretation. And I think that's been always the key myself that I've had concerns on as far as the city, how we can work better to make things more streamlined. As you know, like we had one place that was a bounce house and we didn't have that in the code, so we morphed that into a pool hall, which doesn't exist anymore. These are things that we're working on and changing. But what's happening is that this person, this position, is going to be able then to, in my theory, is to go ahead and then frame this new business or this new construction aspect on what it really is. Because I think that's the biggest challenge. So is that your understanding as well?
Absolutely, sir. And just to build on that, in the same way that we've been going at the ordinance side of things, this is about making sure that we have the right people with the right authority and the right perspective and competency to interpret those ordinances as we're updating them, to make sure that the people doing the work every day are aligning with the intent of ordinance. So you're absolutely right.
Excellent. Any of my colleagues have any questions? Councilman Hammoud.
So, question for either of you. How is this different than the, we had a senior planner role, didn't we, that Kaylee had occupied?
So I can speak to that, council member. So terms of industry can kind of lead to confusion on this, because there's, when you think of like plan review, there's plans examination, which is the building side of the house. That is when you're looking at from a code compliance, from permit review, and the trade disciplines from that aspect. There's commercial intake, site plan review, which is the planning and zoning piece. Yeah. So the senior planner oversaw the planning and zoning piece. Mm-hmm. This is on the trade side of the house. This is for permitting.
Okay, so chief plans examiner. Okay, so that's why it's not a planner position, it's a plan examiner position. Okay.
That's correct.
So this person would report to like your building official?
That's correct. The building official and the ABO.
So how is this different than, let's say, the deputy building official?
Because they're very focused on doing those complex reviews, the ABO can step in and support those, and actually because we don't have this position, the building official and the ABO have been doing that. They've been taking on pieces of what this role would take on holistically, but this position is dedicated to that task. The intake, so they're kind of a multi-threat. They handle the intake, they handle the routing, they also conduct the reviews. So they're kind of providing that layer of supervisory support to those plans examiners specifically, and kind of to the council president's point is making sure that those reviews are consistently addressing the intent of the ordinance as they're supposed to be interpreted.
So I think one thing that would have been helpful is, and I've asked for this many times, and maybe not this administration yet, but the job spec needs to be in the backup so that we can actually evaluate what this really is, right? Titles are nice and descriptions are nice, but you know what actually gets put in the posting is also very important, because if I know, so like, okay, if you know off the top of your head, what kind of qualifications would this person have then? They'd be a like a building inspector?
So they would have, there's the State Act 407 licensure. Okay. So you have to have a certain certification to be able to be authorized to review plans. Like, for example, the building official has the legal authority to interpret the building code. These examiners will have a certification to allow them to sign off on those types of reviews. There's also specific credentials, education-wise, that you would need to be, it's more of an engineering mindset. It's more of a commercial scale development mindset, as opposed to, like, say, a reviewer that can review fences and basics.
Yeah, so then, which kind of leads me into another question, which our DPW director actually brought up earlier, and I was a little bit shocked, but, you know, considering a variety of things, where we only have 2 PEs on staff for a city of our size, where, in my mind, you're technically supposed to have a minimum of 4 to something like 5 if you want to be nominal, 6 if you're really doing a really great job. And a city of our size only having 2 PEs on staff would be a big detriment to us getting any kind of infrastructure or, you know, all these kinds of projects that roll through, like Oakwood Boulevard, right? DT had an opportunity to do work for free for us, and we didn't take advantage because we literally didn't show up to the meeting. But of course, it doesn't shock me we don't show up when the 2 engineers that we have on staff are doing plan review and overseeing you know, projects that are getting done, like the DTE, but we also have a bunch of other open stuff. And so we're hiring technicians to go out and do the oversight of the construction projects themselves, right? It's like when the guy goes and kicks the tires, like, did they actually build this? But, you know, hearing that they also do plan review, how is what the PEs in the engineering department are doing, how is that plan review different than what this plan reviewer is doing here?
So that's a great question. So the reviewers, and Tim can certainly keep me honest if I get any of these details wrong, but the reviewers in engineering are focusing on underground utilities, easements, those aspects. This is more looking at the overall plan set for a commercial property. They would interface with engineering, who focuses on those details. This person's looking globally at the project outside of those engineering specs.
All right, Councilman, I know I want you to finish your thought, but I just want to make sure the specs, we do need those specs sent over.
Yes, sir.
And that's why it's crucial. And I'd like the class certification, because you weren't here where I had to ask, these are the questions I ask when we have these concerns like Councilman Hammoud is indicating. This is his background as engineering, but as far as, in case you didn't know that.
I haven't mentioned it.
But I wanted
haven't
to make
seen it
sure, we did have, try to get a little lighter here, but just so you know, we did have, before your tenure, a situation where we said why we didn't get anybody apply, then we found out that the specs we wrote required a license that doesn't exist anymore. And then we wonder why we didn't get that. And I know that's not your class, but what the councilman is indicating is dead on. I mean, and Jackie, we're going to need that from now on to go through. Is this something that you need to pass through tonight? Because I know it's thrown through for November, Chief, but it is very crucial that we have the specs and the job classification, and for me, the qualifications. Because under your leadership, we have been creating layers to get more efficiencies, and we're getting there, but we can't hang our hat on these positions because of the forward situation, and that's going to last into the future. Chief, you wanted something to add?
Yeah, Council President, what I would say is that we can definitely get the information for you all in regards to kind of the background of the classification and the scope of work. I think what Jordan has described to you is exactly why the need to pass it today is because as we're looking at how we are, especially with, I know Council President has asked and the team is starting to work on kind of the site plan review, study session for all of you, but this is also a part of creating more efficiencies for us, especially knowing that we know where the bottlenecks are, and this position would help us really streamline a lot of the work where we see the bottlenecks. I think that's one thing that I commend the ED team on, is they understand, where the bottleneck is and what the right approach is. And they've been having these conversations specifically around this position because having the right person in that position is extremely important. And I think we are now in the day of age, which unfortunately it's, the title needs to be there and the pay needs to be there to be able to get someone who's qualified and experienced to be able to take the efficiency level where we want it to be as a city, where we expect it to be, because
Right.
I think the council has been very vocal, and I completely agree, and the administration completely agrees with, very vocal on where we need to be on site plan review and where we need to hit our goals, and this is a part of that. I think that this is just elevating our game in order for us to be able to meet the expectations of this council and this administration.
And the only thing I would add on to the chief's remarks, respectfully, Council President and council
Yes.
members, if this could be approved tonight, when we think about the domino effect of then posting the position, interviewing the position, spring is approaching very quickly. And I do have, as we talked about in the cow, I have 4 folks on my team that can do these reviews, several of which are approaching retirement eligibility. And I just want to make sure that we enter the construction season strong. And so absolutely hearing you on getting you the specs. I'm a big fan of trust and verify myself. I can get
No,
you
no,
those.
we understand, but I want to make sure that this, you know how I do things, just like
Yes,
we
sir.
said in the BR, I like to have consistency.
Yes, sir.
So, Daniel, you know as well, so from now on, we need that up front.
Yes, sir.
Or we'll have to put it, aside until we get it, but we just want to make sure, and look, the council's been full supportive. I mean, if you look back, not too long ago, it was publicly stated that it was going to be outsourced the entire building department. That's not me. Okay, so it's not too far-fetched. Now, we're reinvesting in them. We need them to do what they say they're going to do.
Yes, sir.
And we don't need, people to be saying their stuff has been in there for 2-3 weeks and so on and so forth. You know the struggles, and I know this is a component to get there. But we're giving you the tools. We're going to hold you accountable for these
Yes, sir.
timelines because we need these people to do what was intended to. And I think the councilman is pointed on that, so we make sure we get it the right way.
Yes, sir.
Any other, Councilman Hamud?
I just had a question for HR, an information request. Could you send me the full salary plan?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
For ENA?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Al-Sawafi?
Thank you, Council President. Director, just in plain terms, what measurable results can the council expect to see or improvements within the first year of adding this position?
So it's a great question. I'm looking to shave at least 1, if not 2 days off the review time, just with this position. I mentioned the routing. That's the most tangible thing I can point to right now. In addition to BSNA, I think we can build on that even more. So I think that, to me, it's the turnaround time and also the consistency. I think that the council president's point, this notion of I have 4 people that can do these reviews. I don't need 4 different answers to the same question. I need.
But that's what's happening.
Correct. Understood. And that's where we want to change that. And this position will help.
So
do.
less days to decision then?
Correct. I think that the routing will speed up, and I think you'll see the consistency start to improve. And I think BSNA is only going to accelerate that as well.
And just for the BSNA, that's the software aspect.
Sorry. Yes, sir. That's
No, just for the residents, because we're still on the green screen.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
that's, yeah. I know that finance likes that, but this is a big overhaul for residents that have seen the updates in our great IT director and what we've done on the aspect of our website. That's just the beginning. I mean, as we know, when we came over as the 34th council, we had a tremendous backlog of even security breaches and security concerns regarding the software was not applicable. So we do know that it's challenging for you where you can't just look and see where they're at in the point, and we're getting there. And we're on the same team, so we do appreciate that. So, but as the Councilman El-Swafi indicated, so a couple of days off of what's the standard right now?
So right now, there's an average of 2 to 3 days for the routing, and I'm trying to cut that down, way down. And that's, and again, and it's to the conversation about the green screen. You have to take it in, then somebody has to physically look at it and
Yep.
identify where is it supposed to go. So that process does take time, but we want to speed that up.
Okay, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from my colleagues? Councilman, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming, Danielle, as well. And you know this is your only item, correct? So, so you're more than free to go.
All right.
There's some people who have to stay back there.
I'm going to stay for.
All right, in case you like to. Thank you, Director Torti. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 21, resolution by council members Enos and Paris, authorizing the finance director to recognize the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan grant funding awarded to the Department of Public Health in the amount of $1,000 in the general fund, public health miscellaneous revenue, contributions, donations, and private sources account, and to appropriate the same in the general fund, public health, health and welfare, employee welfare program, undistributed appropriations account, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Department of Public Health, DPH, is receiving a $1,000 grant from the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, awarded following the foundation's recent visit to the department. The foundation supports early childhood education, health, wellness, and for vulnerable residents across the region. It is requested that the $1,000 grant be recognized into our general fund under our public health, miscellaneous revenue, contributions, and donations from private sources, and the same amount be appropriated to public health and welfare employee wellness programs with immediate effect being requested. We'd like to thank the donation and thank the department for its continued work. Any questions or comments on this? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 22, resolution by council members Abraham and O'Reilly, authorizing the finance director to appropriate a portion of the opioid settlement fund balance in the amount of $230,000 as a payment to Access to provide additional financial resources for the completion of the Access Recovery Center that is currently underway and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Access is constructing a state-of-the-art recovery center that will offer stabilization services, outpatient treatment, prevention, and education programs, as well as a range of supportive services such as food assistance, housing, employment, legal aid, and transportation. To complete the construction of the Access project requires additional funding resources, with smaller community contributions are being received. A $230,000 contribution from the city will allow the project to reach its funding goal and open sooner to provide, which is a much-needed service for our residents. Under the National Opioid Settlement, this allocation is permissible for supporting withdrawal management, crisis stabilization, and evidence-based treatment, including FDA-approved and MAT recovery support services provided through Access Recovery Center. It is requested that the Finance Director be authorized to appropriate the $230,000 from an opioid settlement fund balance as a payment to Access for completion of the Recovery Center. I know we have a whole bunch of executive members from Access here today, so if they'd like to speak, fine. If not, I can tell you this. I sat on the transitional team with the Attorney General and our current Attorney General on the first and second term, and know how much she worked hard, and the state recovered multi-millions of dollars in this opioid settlement. It took a long time to get the money here, but that's how government works. So I think this is well-pointed, well-deserved, and a very minimal amount of our resources for Access. And I do want to tell you that the building department should look at how fast Access can build a building, and everybody would be all set. Tremendous, tremendous job. So if you'd like to state your name for the record.
Sure. My name is Lena Harani-Harajli. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Access. We want to thank the city for its generous donation. Our $25 million center has now officially become a $30 million center, as you can imagine, when going through construction. And we're really excited to be definitely pushing forward, as we have had a lot of success, honestly, even without the center. And so we're really looking forward to providing hope and healing at a greater scale once it's open, hopefully this summer or fall. And I want to thank actually the building and safety and Jordan, who has been incredibly helpful, Kaylee, their whole team, in helping us as we navigate all of the things that you find when you take a building down and all of the things that you did not expect. Right. Because they've been extremely helpful, as well as the administration, as we move forward with this project.
Well, I can tell you, Ms. Haraji, I can tell you my stance, and I've been to the black ties and the support of this facility. This is a very, very important. And when you see, the opioid and the settlement, people would say to me when I first started, "What are you guys doing about the drug problem?" And so on and so forth. And we can only make so much strides without partnerships of community support like your organization and Access. And when we met with Maha Frage early on, 12, 14 years ago, I mean, when you talk about a vision of where you want to go and then bring it to paper, and I don't know if anybody can raise much more money than you guys. And it's important to know that this thing is pretty much all funded. I don't want to stop the money coming in, but I know that there's still more to do. But to have a treatment center like this in our local area, especially where it's situated as far as proximity to freeways, hospitalization, there's nothing like this in the area. There's nothing like this anywhere around that I know of. I mean, I know you're the expert. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I mean, the way it's going and the way it's going to end up, I think, is going to be a tremendous asset to the entire southeast region of Detroit and the Michigan area. Is there anything close to it in nearby?
There definitely is not. We've actually been across the nation, and there's no model actually that has all of these support services, as well as the crisis stabilization, the detox, and the residential all in one. So
right.
We're going to become a national model here in Dearborn.
For sure, because what they have now is the treatment, then they have to let them go. There's no
Absolutely.
follow-up care, and then that's the crucial evidence. That's
the follow-up care is going to their funeral.
Yes, that's the most, that's horrible.
So we're definitely going to stop that.
Absolutely. Well, I can't thank you enough for the work you've done, and I know I'd like to thank Rashid for coming. He did an excellent job, just so you know.
Thank you.
To acquire this funding, and we wish you guys the very, very best. And
We
can't wait.
appreciate
I did ask for a special tour. I don't know if they told you that, for the council
Absolutely.
prior to, before the mayor gets in there.
Well, Zainab's going first, but then,
All right, well,
you guys
the
can go.
chief first, then us.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We
appreciate
wish
it.
you the
Thank
best. Anything from my colleagues regarding this phenomenal center? We've all been part of it, and it's a long time coming, but with all joking aside, the need is so desperately needed, and the way that they work to get it to where it's at today. If you drive down Michigan Avenue right before the end of our city on Wyoming, you'll see the building going up. It's going to be fabulous. All right. Any other questions or comments? Any objection? Unanimous roll. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
So we have an update resolution that is in need of an offer and support authorizing to amend the term ending for the agenda items 23 through 28 from December 31st, 2028 to June 30th, 2028 to comply with Section 10.9 of the city charter and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. What we're going to do, because that's not an item, we're going to do each individual item. So my colleagues just understand that in our COW and our committee of the whole, it was indicated December 31st of 2028. It requires the term to end on June 30th of 2028. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk?
That's correct.
So what I'm going to do is when the clerk reads us through, we're going to just ask for each individual member who has indicated. So on item 23, Councilman Enos, Councilman O'Reilly, just to verify that they agree with the change of the term to June 30th, 2028, and we'll ask that on each one. Is that sufficient, Mr. Clerk?
Yes.
Okay, so if you will proceed with your reading as it's supposed to be, and then we'll confirm with the members.
Okay. Item 23, resolution by Councilmember Enos and O'Reilly concurring in the appointment of Stephen Gettert to the Building Board of Appeals with the term ending June 30th, 2028.
All right, Councilman Enos.
I agree.
Councilman O'Reilly.
Agree.
All right, thank you. So it shall be entered in that way. This appointment of Stephen Geppert to our Building Board of Appeals is a 3-year term that will be ending June 30th, 2028. And again, I just like to thank all of our, as I've done every meeting I can, our commissions and boards. These are volunteer positions, great way to support your community. The work that's done in these boards are very crucial and very important to our residents that makes our city what it is today. So we want to thank Stephen for him putting himself forward. Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 24, resolution by Council Members Hammoud and Enos concurring in the appointment of Amanda Ganem to the Board of Ethics with the term ending June 30th, 2028.
All right, Councilman Hammoud, regarding the appointment to June 30th, you agree?
Yes.
Councilman Enos?
I agree, Council President.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. You got to do it.
Loud
All right. This appointment is for Amanda Genem, the Board of Ethics, for a 3-year term that will end again June 30th, 2028. We do thank them. And I want to thank the administration. I had some concerns in previous my time with ethics boards, and I think that we're heading in a tremendous different direction, a more independent body to look at things. We are public officials. We are held to a higher standard, and so is others. So the ethics board is very important. I think this is going to be a great addition for the city to make sure that things get routed when there are concerns. And sometimes in the past, I think they were used very properly, where there would be a question before a person had, hey, is this an ethical issue? And I think it's a great way to make sure that we're doing things the right way. So we'd like to thank Ms. Scanna for her service. Any objection? Unanimous roll. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 25, resolution by Council Members Paris and Hammoud concurring in the appointment of Cindy Olson to the Dearborn Historical Advisory Commission with the term ending June 30th, 2028.
Councilman Paris, you agree with the term indicated?
Yes.
Yes. Councilman Hammoud?
Yes.
All right. So we'd like to concur in the appointment of Cindy Olson to the Dearborn Historical Advisory Commission for her term ending June 30th, 2028. So we do appreciate that as well. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 26, resolution by Council Members Enos and Paris concurring in the appointment of Andrea Fitzgerald to the City Beautiful Commission with the term ending June 30th, 2028.
All right, and then again, this will be June 30th, 2028. This is to comply with the charter. Councilman Enos?
I agree.
Councilman Paris?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so this is for an appointment of Andrea Fitzgerald, again, for our City Beautiful Commission, 3-year term ending June 30th, 2028. We'd like to again thank her for her service. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 27, resolution by Council President Serini and Council Member Hammoud concurring in the appointment of Othman Alansi to the Parks and Recreation Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028.
All right, June 30th, 2028. I agree. Councilman Hammoud?
Yes.
You agree as well. Okay, so we're concurring in the appointment of Othman Alansi to the Parks and Recreation Commission term ending June 30th, 2028. Mr. Alansi, I appreciate you here tonight. So if you just state your name for the record.
Othman Alansi.
All right. So we appreciate your volunteer service. If you'd like to make any statement, because this is, although the Parks and Recreation, as you know and you grew up, is very important. Recreation in the city of Dearborn is very important. So this is a role that is shared, and participation is crucial. So if you'd like to state anything for us.
I just want to say thank you to the mayor and the city council for the appointment and the trust. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve on the Parks and Recreation Commission, and I look forward to working with collaboratively with staff and fellow commissioners in service of our community.
Excellent. Well, we got a lot of new parks, so there'll be a lot of stuff to do still coming on board. And I wish you the best, and hopefully we'll see you continue in your service.
Thank you.
Any questions or colleagues? Councilman Enos.
When's he get his commission pin for his own?
Well, I was going to ask, because I seen those pins. I mean, they kind of look similar to these, but they're much larger. They were much larger. But if you do not get a pin, within 10 days, give me a call. We'll get that pin for you. Or the director will get it for you. All right. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll is attached. Congratulations. Thank you. Next item.
Item 28, resolution by council members Paris and Enos concurring in the appointment of Faisal Ibrahim to the Traffic Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. We do have a change in the term to June 30th, 2028. Councilman Paris?
Yes.
Councilman Enos?
Yes.
All right. So this appointment is for Faisal Ibrahim for the Traffic Commission, a 3-year term, again, ending June 30th, 2028. And again, we'd like to thank him for his service. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 29, resolution by council members Abraham and O'Reilly concurring in the appointment of Ali Zaki Hashim to the Warren Business District Improvement Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2026.
All right. This one was actually correct.
Correct.
All right. So this appointment is for Ali Hashim, Zaki Hashim, the Warren Business District Authority, and the appointment to complete a vacancy ending June 30th, 2026. So we'd like to thank him for his service. Chief, this is from Elamir, right? Yes. Yeah, partner in Elamir Restaurants, which just got a new facade. If you haven't been down there,
Nice.
I am partial that the one on Warren and Miller is the best one. I know they have 3 other locations, but is it? Councilman Pierce, you agree? Could be something to do with the ovens or how long they've been open, but it is better than the one in Dearborn Heights for sure.
Everything in Dearborn is better.
All right.
I agree.
You agree? Excellent. Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
No further items on tonight's agenda.
All right, excellent. Before I open it to my colleagues, a couple small things here. Chief Shaheen, we would like to congratulate you again. Chief, I know you got a lot of jobs, but you're taking on more here, being selected and elected to the Vice Chair of the Michigan Commissions of Law Enforcement, MCOL Standards. Excellent job, Chief, and whoever's doing your pictures on social media are phenomenal. Well, they really they're doctoring them up good. You look great. We do appreciate it, folks. As we always say at Dearborn, we lead, we don't just follow. So it's a tremendous honor to see our chiefs, both on the police and fire, always actively taking lead. It's very easy, folks, to sit in a 15-person commission meeting and just doze off or have a donut. And there's those that stand up and say, you know, I want to take control. When they do that, it puts the city of Dearborn in the forefront. So I can't thank you enough, Chief. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I do want to mention the daddy-daughter dance. This is one of the hottest tickets out there. Now, fortunately, my daughter, one of them is married, one's in dental school. I can't even talk to her anymore. She's that busy. It's a tremendous honor. It's always selling out. Are we doing two shows this year? Who's in charge of that?
It's 2, Friday.
Daddy-daughter dance.
Friday and Saturday. I got my tickets.
You got your tickets? All right. I'll be honest with you. I almost got in trouble before because people were calling me for tickets. These things are hot tickets. The daddy-daughter dance is Friday, February 6th, Saturday, February 8th, right before the Super Bowl, day before. It's a good move. Very good move. And the theme is Candyland. This is a tremendous thing. Folks, I still got pictures that I will never let go of me taking my 2 daughters to those dances. It's a great time. The staff is phenomenal. It sells out really, really quick if you are fortunate enough to have a daughter or even a niece or granddaughter. My granddaughter's not old enough. I tried to take her. She's still a little too small. I think her dad wants to take her, but it's a great event. Please participate in it. You'll never forget it. Tremendous event, and thank you for all the work you guys do in these events. They're great, and they keep the city going. People look forward to it, so we do appreciate it. That's what I had on my end on the council. Does anybody on the council have anything? Councilman El Swafi?
Thank you, Council President. I just want to take the time to recognize and thank the DPW leadership and staff for for their hard work throughout this weekend. I spent Thursday through Sunday with the National Guard up north, and I seen how bad it could get, and sometimes we're comfortable at home, we forget how bad it is outside. So I just want to take the time to thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman. And I know further north, it was bad too, yeah. So unfortunately, we're getting hit it hard, so we'll see the groundhog. What day is the groundhog day? It's coming up soon. Hopefully you don't see his shadow, but I'm not looking, it's not looking too good so far. Councilman Paris.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to make mention at the end of this meeting tonight, we had a number of boards and commission appointees that we brought forward. You know, there's, 28 to 30 boards and commissions. What I'd like to say is we have the backup material for all the items on the council agenda. If you take a look at some of these individuals, tonight is a point in fact that these people are very qualified for these positions, for the appointments. What I wanted to make mention, this is participatory government. We see a number of people that are in the audience tonight. I encourage people to be here to see what's going on. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different experience sitting in the audience and watching what takes place with the city functions that are going on here tonight and any other meeting. But really take a look at these boards and commissions. If you go on the city website, under boards and commissions, it lists the number of people and who they are and if there are any vacancies. So there's also a way on there to be able to apply for a board and a commission. Please take a look at it. And this is just another way for you to contribute to your community. So I really strongly encourage it. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Councilman. Any other council member? All right, Chief, anything from the administration?
Absolutely.
All right.
Turn on this mic.
I got you on.
All right. Just a couple things. I want to just reiterate the support and appreciation for our DPW team. I think it goes beyond saying that this winter has been brutal. It's one of the worst that we've seen thus far, and I think under the leadership of Director Hawkins and his deputy Nicole Golich, and the team there has done an outstanding job where you can see our city roads cleared out and waiting for the county to catch up. But I'm proud to say that the city team has really poured their heart and soul into it, and it's not easy. They're doing 5 a.m.s in the morning. They're doing weekends and overtime just to make sure that we're able to, our residents are able to transport, allow them the ability to mobilize around the city without any difficulty. So want to just double down on that. Thank you to our DBW team. So big shout out to you all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just on the events and recognition piece, I want to say that the Dearborn Symphony, Shall We Dance, is coming up on February 6th at the Ford Performing Arts Center. We also know that Ramadan is coming up, so those that are preparing themselves and recognizing that month. Also, we have Lent that's coming up for our Christian community, and Ash Wednesday. So I want to be able to, say that the city is definitely in recognition of those months, and that these being very holy for both the Muslim and Christian community, that we kind of stand alongside each other as we in these few months. Also want to say that he is here, so I'm going to call him up. Director Abzid, can you please come up?
It's his birthday.
So some news
Still
that
here.
I'm not sure has been shared yet with the council, but it's bittersweet, as I say. Director Abzid will be leaving the city of Dearborn. And he will be leaving, if I can share the news, if you're okay with that. He will be leaving to be the health director of the city of Detroit. Absolutely. We don't like losing people to different cities, that's for sure. But one thing that I and the mayor actually were both on the same page, and when we got the call from Director Abazid, it was really, truly an honor and a feather. And I told him, it's a feather in our cap. Detroit knows that they took Dearborn's best, and the public health department established here is not just set as a model regionally, but nationally. We've gotten recognition by the U.S. Conference of Mayors and others for this model. And I think it is the visionary leadership of this man right here. And we are definitely going to feel the loss, but he has truly built an institution there where he leaves behind a phenomenal team with the same resilience and relentlessness of getting it done. But I wanted to make sure that, the mayor was not here, and I'm sure he would have done it himself. We're definitely going to miss you, Ali. And from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for what you've done for the city of Dearborn, for our residents, and how your work here is truly going to continue on and help the quality of life for the city and our residents. And I just want to say thank you, and you definitely are going to be missed.
Thank you.
Director? Would you like to say anything? I mean, this is a big deal. We do appreciate it, and I'd just like to echo the sentiments of the chief before you speak. But I mean, like we had also other people, it is a testament to Dearborn. I mean, when the mayor came on and with the health department, and a lot of people had questions and health and all policies, and what we're doing with it, it's been a tremendous win-win. And so it is very bittersweet to see you leave, but we understand, and we want you to get to do the best in your career. I knew at some point, I think all of us knew that there was going to be things for you to go further. But if you'd like to say any statement for it, we do appreciate the time you did spend and the work you have done.
Thank you. I don't like to. I wouldn't like to, but since I'm up here, I'll take the opportunity. Our chief of staff is a force behind the scenes. I've been saying since day one, I wish you were out there a little bit more, Z. And it's appropriate that she's here today. So, Chief, thank you from the bottom of my heart. To the residents of Dearborn, this was when I left the NIH. I talked to a colleague and I asked his opinion. What do you think? Should I take this role back home? And he pointed at his heart and he said, Ali, there are some jobs sometimes where God comes calling. This is one of those jobs, and 4 years later, it felt exactly like that because the residents of Dearborn matter a lot to me. Right. This is home. Everything we did was for the city, it was for the residents, and so I'm going to wrap it up because despite my imposing figure, I'm a big softie, and I don't like endings, but I will say that the current DPH team, former and current, the 130 fellows that came through, nothing happens without them. My fellow directors, I mean, this job is tough, man. This job is really tough, and having each other's backs all the time. We have our disagreements in private, but my God, we're one team, one unified team in public. And then finally, the mayor. The mayor had the vision. The mayor had the ideas. Council President, you've been a supporter since day one. Absolutely. The fact that on the last week you're saying health and all policies, that's right. It's something that we did a lot of work to make sure everyone knew exactly what that means. That's right. And what it meant is building a national model of what health can look like. And the mayor, early on in our tenure, I said, Mayor, just can we unleash? He said, Ali, let it rip. And so I think we let it rip, and I'm really grateful for all the support. I'm not leaving Dearborn. I'm not going to a certain place. I'm doing public health. I care about public health a lot. Detroit's a wonderful historic city, but there's no place like home. That's right. We did great work. Dearborn's going to be on the national stage, still is on the national stage, and we're taking the Dearborn playbook, and it's going to go places. So thank you all so much.
Well, we appreciate it, Dr. Avizi. I want to thank, and I do appreciate it. I also want to thank my colleagues, because when this came on, the mayor didn't even have the key to get in here in the beginning, and said that department of one, and we all this ain't gonna work out. And the fellows, and reaching out to the council, because you understand the cooperation, for us to get together and understand. You were one of the first directors that had brought us in to see what you're doing and why it's going to work. I'm very confident of the foundation you laid, that it's going to. I think you've done such a good job of laying it that it's going to continue for us, and we wish you the best. Like I said, I know it's always home, but we're going to need some of those fellows for sure, so you can't take them all down there. I just want to make sure.
I'm a phone call away.
All right. Yep. Anything from my colleagues?
I said it would work out.
Yes, you did. You did. You did. But whenever we create a department with one person, we know there's a problem there, but it worked out. It paid several dividends and has increased our awareness throughout our residents. From air monitors to national recognition. So we do appreciate it, Director, and wish you the best. Chief, did you have something else?
One thing I'll say, and I had my one-on-one with Councilman Abraham, and this is how I know that there has been the ripple effect of the health and all policy and the environmental consciousness and for the city. is he actually came and told me we need to start benchmarking how we tell. And it was just great. I was just like, is this Ale in front of me or is this like, so just to say that really it is not just the institutional, but it's also the minds and the hearts that you've changed. And I think the way we look at things now are completely different. And I appreciate that. So I just had to share that because I was just grinning from ear to ear and I'm like, I didn't even think about that, Bob. And he's like, yeah, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right. So
True. Councilman Abraham? Good? You got it, all right. Thank you, Chief. Anything else that you had from the administration?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Clerk, anything from your department?
No, just great to be back in Dearborn after enduring some horrible heat in Florida. So,
Oh, yeah, wow, that's, yeah, that's the way to rub it in there, George.
well,
Horrible heat. You can't even breathe outside. When you breathe in too hard, you're in trouble. Well, I'm glad you had a good trip.
yeah, good to be back. Thank you.
All right. At this time, we are going to turn to our second public comment portion. Anyone here to address the city council regarding city business? There's comment cards on either side, or you can be recognized by myself. Kind reminder, there's a 3-minute limitation. Anyone here to speak to the council? All right, I'll take that as a no. We need a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn by Councilman El Sawafi. We are adjourned.
Thank you.